Hello everyone, Rehab here, Rehabs for Quitters, your favorite Halo YouTuber with another Halo video. If you want to stay up to date with Halo Infinite, during the game, up to the road to the game, after it comes out, you found the right place. So hit like, smash subscribe, and let's get into this HCS blog dropped yesterday from Tashi, 14 hours ago, fresh off the press. He drops these monthly, I guess. I guess they skipped May because of the E3, what they had to show off, but this one's focusing on teams. There's a lot of interesting information. Halo Championship Series, it's 343's eSports arm. I believe Tashi runs it. Don't quote me though. I don't have their organizational chart in front of me. But he's talking about teams, They're an important part. They bring in fans, sponsors, etc. They support the players by paying them salaries and creating content. Huge part of it. That's why Optic's so big. He talks about, the skins in Halo 5, which I own all of them because I'm a loser. I'm not really big on microtransactions in games, but I bought the skins because the teams got some money from it, and you gotta give them some incentive, some reason to stay into Halo, to get into Halo, because there wasn't much of it in Halo 5, and that's kind of what 343 is focusing on with Halo Infinite. Giving teams a reason to get involved in Halo, some benefit of being in Halo, and that's going to help keep them there. So, very important. They go over a bunch of information. They're trying to build strengthen relationships with teams, create strong, lasting relationships in the esports ecosystem with these orgs. Teams that were all here. Envy's going to be back in Infinite. As you can tell, they already have an Infinite squad. Splice, I don't know where they're at, but these teams were all in and they seem to leave over time. So we want these teams to join, see that there's a benefit to being involved in Halo, and have them stay. So hopefully we can do that with Halo Infinite. That's kind of what Tashi's, the whole overview of this blog is. So we'll see how that turns out. But he talks about how the franchise model started to become popular. Call of Duty did it, Overwatch did it. I don't know, maybe League of Legends. I don't know much about that game. But he says, for Halo, we decided it was critical that Halo Infinite Esports had an open format and ecosystem, and that we're building off the philosophy that started way back with Halo Combat Evolved. We wanted to create an ecosystem that was as open as possible to allow for new teams to integrate into the scene at any time, for up-and-coming players to have the opportunity to rise to the top at any moment, and for tournament operators of all sizes to plug in the ecosystem across any region. This is honestly so huge. Obviously there's a huge incentive to franchise. They're trying to turn it into traditional sports. These organizations had in Call of Duty like 20-something million dollar buy-ins to join the league, and the funding from those buy-ins obviously funded the league. That's cool and all. It's nice to see them try to go the traditional route. They want to turn this $25 million buy-in to, maybe one day $1 billion organizations, which is cool. But that's not what esports is all about. The culture of esports is going in with just 3 randoms, 3 friends, 3 teammates, and making it to main stage, playing for that prize pool, playing against the professional players. You're in the gauntlet, open bracket, duking it out in the mud all day. You make, and then you get out of open bracket, hop into champ bracket, and you get to play against the best. They're trying to make it more like professional sports with the franchising. I can't go play one-on-one against Ronaldo, Messi. Can't go one-on-one LeBron just because, And that's a huge part of the culture of esports, in my opinion. Being able to play against the best in the world, starting from the bottom in the pits and making your way out of it and reaching, having the opportunity to not only play against the pros, but win the tournament. You could just create a team, if you're good enough. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen, but you could throw together a team and go win this tournament, just coming out of nowhere. So that's a really exciting part of esports, and I'm happy that they're doubling down on that, because you know, there was always a possibility with Infinite. They're trying to make it the biggest Halo game ever. And there was obviously the chance that they were going to go down the franchise route. So I'm really happy that they're not going that way. They're also just talking about trying to sustain, you know, relationships again with people or with the teams. They have a partnership program. They already have teams lined up. They didn't announce the teams yet, obviously. I'm assuming Envy's in there, Cloud9. You know, the teams that have Halo teams right now leading up into Infinite are my guesses. Obviously, Sentinels. But they're not going to announce it. They're trying to have, you know, a nice, cool announcement, which is cool. Try and build the hype. It's a lengthy application process. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more teams trying to get in on it, especially if the game really is that good, that's successful, and they see that, you know, it's something they want to jump into. So, you know, each team's going to have their own in-game content, which is, you know, probably going to be armor. What's it called? The armor skins, whatever they're called. I forget. You know, the paint, armor paint, weapon skins, emblems. I don't know. Maybe they'll have some of the players' voice AIs. You know, they talked about the AIs that are going to be customizable for each player. So we'll see how that goes. But, you know, that's really good because it gives teams a reason to join Halo, and it should help show them that there's a benefit being in Halo. If they're making money out of it, right? They're all running businesses. They need to be profitable in order to stay alive. So if Halo's not profitable for them, they're not going to stay. That's probably honestly most likely why most of the teams left previously. So hopefully, you know, this will help them remain profitable. They'll see that Halo's a growing, you know, it was at the top at one point and it fell into the gutter. So we're going to try and grow again. So hopefully that that'll help them, and, you know, it'll give teams incentive to keep staying in Halo after joining, you know. They also say they get the majority of the profits from the sales of those in-game items. They get they're looking to enable teams to create as much content as possible to drive interest in the league. So, you know, they'll have access to all the VODs and footage. They can get backstage content, you know, behind the scenes. People love to see behind the scenes. So they're fully embracing that, which is good. You know, that's really the Optic magic, you know, the criteria. That's how they became such a powerhouse org in Call of Duty and then branched out from there. It's because they created the content. Content drives viewer engagement. It brings in fans. It makes you become fans of these teams, fans of the players, instead of just being like, oh wow, this dude's really good at the game. You know, you get to know them and you build a bond with them through the camera, through the stories that are told through content. So that's really important. You know, obviously they see how it went. Call of Duty was, you know, they used to be the redheaded stepchild at the Halo events, you know, in the corner, no one watching, not a lot of players, and they've really risen to the top. And a lot of that is due to the content that Optic put out and just the Call of Duty players in general that Halo never really had. So that Halo kind of just benefited from being such a great competitive game back then. Players never really did their, you know, I guess their part in trying to create content and create stories. So hopefully it's going to be a new leaf with Halo Infinite. They can even include their own sponsors as long as they don't conflict with HCS sponsors. So obviously if HCS is sponsored by Astro, then a team can't be showing off their HyperX or Turtle Beach headsets, whatever. But that's cool, you know, if it's not conflicting, being able to add their sponsors, I'm sure, is a huge incentive because sponsors are what pays these orgs for the most part. You know, you can join in if you want, reach out on Twitter, they say. And I forget where they say. They talk about having open events. I definitely touched on that. But remember Halo 5 when it launched didn't have open events? They had the first tournament they had when Halo 5 launched, if you guys remember, was Worlds. You had the online qualifiers. Top 16 from that went to regionals. You know, there was NA regionals and obviously other ones around the world, but NA is kind of where everyone pays the most attention to because the best Halo players are in NA. At least right now. Hopefully it'll grow across the world and we'll see more competition from different parts of the globe, but right now, NA's the best. So there were 16 teams at a LAN, so that was invite only. Then you had to get whatever top 8 to qualify from Worlds from that. Then so like the other LAN was Worlds, that was obviously not an open event either. And then after that, they started having, still didn't have open events. They had Pro League, which was online, 8 teams in Pro League. And it didn't even really matter. It was just for seeding because all the 8 teams made it to the LAN from there on out. It was probably a year, maybe 2, before they started having open events at the LAN. So that's really important. It's part of not only Halo culture, but esports culture. And I'm happy to hear that they're doubling down on that. If you're a team and you want to join in, you know, you can reach out. They're not really taking applications right now, but they will be, and that's important. So in conclusion, blah blah blah, Tashi, thanks for the update. I appreciate it. This is really exciting. You know, this is the future of Halo esports, and it's important, at least to me. You know, I'm a sweaty loser. I like the esports aspect of gaming. I like trying hard, even though I'm not very good. I try to be good, and that's the fun of me, grinding out ranks and matching against these pros, getting mollywopped in matchmaking. It's the fun part of gaming for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna be competing? I'm gonna try. I'd love to fly out to this open event, get double first rounded, and I don't know, go blackout under a bridge or something. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is exciting to me. Maybe you don't care, but hey, you know, just wanted to share, give my thoughts, and talk about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. There's going to be a whole bunch more Infinite content coming down the pike, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.